All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Hello, and welcome to Onlife Health webinar series presented in conjunction with HealthTrust Slice of Life program. I'm your host, Ashley Benningfield. I'm originally from Germantown, Tennessee, right outside of Memphis. I graduated from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville in 2004 with a bachelor's degree in dietetics. From there, I went on to complete my dietetic internship at Vanderbilt. Here in Nashville, I'm a registered dietitian technician, and I've been at Onlife for 16 years. I've held several positions, currently serve as our content and digital media specialist. Onlife is the only place I've ever worked. I love cleaning and organizing, working out, and spending time with my husband and 9-year-old son. So for those of you that have joined before, welcome back. And for those of you who may not have had the chance to join in, welcome. I look forward to interacting with everyone today. Today's webinar is titled Getting Fit on a Budget. And before we begin, just wanted to let you know that this webinar is being recorded in a listen-only mode. So you will be able to hear me, but I cannot hear you. The last 10 to 15 minutes of this webinar have been set aside for questions and answers. And at any time throughout the presentation, you can type questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of your control panel. I'll attempt to answer as many of those questions during the Q&A portion of today's webinar. And also, if you're having any sound issues, please let me also know that. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So between pricey gym memberships and fancy home exercise equipment, staying fit can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be. In this webinar, you'll learn how a bit of creativity can help you stay fit without blowing your budget. Before we get started, I want to know one thing. What are some ways you stay active and fit on a budget? Do any of you have any tips right off the bat that you can think about or think of? Walking 5 miles daily, that's awesome. Yoga classes on YouTube, great. Hiking. Walking, I love it. I don't know what the weather's like at your location, but today in Nashville, it is beautiful here. Can't wait to get outside later. Yes, using your food such as cans for weights, awesome. We'll touch on several of these today, so I hope you can at least learn something new. So before we dive into the tips on getting fit on a budget, I want to talk about why physical activity matters in the first place. So a sedentary or inactive lifestyle can negatively impact our health. It can lead to chronic diseases such as obesity, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of cancer. And according to the CDC, about 1 in 2 adults live with a chronic disease, and about half of this group have 2 or more diseases. Physical activity is important because it saves lives. Physical inactivity, is now the 4th leading risk factor for global mortality, causing 3.2 million deaths a year. Getting enough physical activity could prevent 1 in 10 premature deaths. It could also prevent 1 in 8 cases of breast cancer, 1 in 8 cases of colorectal cancer, 1 in 12 cases of diabetes, and 1 in 15 cases of heart disease. Not getting enough physical activity also costs money. In fact, it's estimated that a lack of physical activity results in approximately $117 billion in healthcare costs each year. Staying active is one of the most important things you can do to improve your health. No matter your age, your weight, or fitness level, regular physical activity is vital to all aspects of your health, physically, mentally, emotionally, and even financially. So now that you know why it's important, let's look at some of the health benefits of staying active. Physical activity is associated with many positive health benefits, some of which are immediately noticeable. For example, an improved mood or a boost of energy after that short walk that you took at lunch, or others, such as a reduction in disease risk, accumulate over the course of days to weeks of consistently being more active. People with chronic diseases like high blood pressure or diabetes may be able to manage or improve their conditions with physical activity and also prevent future complications. Physical activity can also help with weight management. And did you know that your brain can also benefit from regular exercise? In fact, you can improve your mental focus with just 10 minutes of movement. The same way that physical activity helps shape your muscles, it also helps strengthen your brain's learning and focus capacity. You can improve your mental and emotional health by engaging in regular physical activity. Exercise can reduce your stress, boost your energy, and your mood, like I just said. It's been shown to reduce anxiety and depression and offer a greater sense of well-being. And staying active can help you sleep better. The American Heart Association suggests that people who take part in physical activity and maintain a healthy weight live about 7 years longer than those who are not actively involved in physical activity. Maintaining an active lifestyle delays or prevents chronic illnesses and diseases associated with aging. Therefore, active adults maintain their independence and quality of life as they age. And lastly, regular exercise can improve our functional capacity, and that's the ability to do daily things such as getting dressed and brushing your teeth. So how much exercise do we need? Well, according to the physical activity guidelines for Americans, they focus on reducing the risk of chronic disease and promoting health-related fitness, particularly cardiovascular and muscular fitness. And these key guidelines for adults state that all adults should avoid long periods of inactivity. Some physical activity is better than none, and adults who participate in any amount of physical activity gain some health benefits. So even just 5 minutes is better than doing nothing. For substantial health benefits, adults should do a minimum of 150 minutes, that's 2 hours and 30 minutes a week, of moderate intensity exercise, or 75 minutes, which is an hour and 15 minutes, a week of vigorous intensity exercise, or an equivalent combination of both. You can perform your exercise in 10-minute bouts, or you can spread it throughout the week. It's also recommended that adults do muscle strengthening activities that involve all major muscle groups for at least 2 or more days per week. And the major muscle groups are your legs, your hips, back, chest, abdomen, shoulders, and arms. For additional health benefits, like if you're looking to maybe lose weight, you can increase your aerobic physical activity to 300 minutes, and that's a moderate intensity exercise, or 150 minutes a week of vigorous intensity aerobic physical activity. I can send a link to, I'll have a link at the end of the presentation where you can find this information. I know it's a lot of numbers, so that's why I put this graphic up here to kind of help lay it out a little bit better. But the more muscle that you have, the more calories your body can burn throughout the day, even at rest. So you might be asking, what exactly does it mean to engage in moderate or vigorous intensity exercise? Well, the guidelines consider the intensity with which people engage in activity. Some activities are higher intensity or more vigorous than others because they require more energy to do them. For example, you expend more energy walking at a fast pace than you do at a leisurely stroll. I believe one of you just said that you power walk. So you're expending a lot more energy than if you were just taking a leisurely stroll around the block. A moderate intensity exercise is any exercise that makes you breathe harder without feeling out of breath. You should still be able to carry on a conversation, but you shouldn't be able to sing. So if you're exercising at a moderate level, you should start to sweat after about 10 minutes. For example, walking quickly as if you were late for an appointment is a moderate intensity exercise. And briskly walking up the stairs instead of the elevator between meetings. Every little extra effort offers health benefits. Other examples of moderate activity include walking briskly, 3 miles an hour or faster, water aerobics, bicycling, slower than 10 miles an hour, and playing doubles tennis. Yard work is even considered a form of moderate activity. So whether you're getting your hands dirty in the garden, shoveling dirt, or mowing the lawn, there's plenty of benefits to be reaped from all that hard work. And vigorous forms of activity include jogging, running, rowing, biking faster than 10 miles per hour, aerobics, spinning, doing elliptical or swimming laps. So when it comes to setting your fitness goals, the good news is that studies reveal that you don't have to exercise for 30 minutes straight to reap the benefits. Like I said before, getting up and moving is better than sitting and doing nothing at all. But it's important to assess where you are to help you determine your goals. Simply noting how much or how little you move can help motivate you to get up and move more. So take a moment to ask yourself, how much aerobic activity do you usually get a week? Do you walk for 15 minutes 3 times a week? If so, your goal might be to increase the duration of those walks to 30 minutes 3 days a week. Or if your goal is to increase the number of steps you take each day, and you're currently, let's say, taking about 5,000 steps a day, you might set a goal to increase those steps by 300 to 500 each day. Whatever you choose to do, it's important to start slow, especially if you're just starting out. You want to make sure that you understand that it's okay if you can't walk for 30 minutes at a time, or if you can't take those 500 extra steps a day. You should increase your physical activity gradually over time to meet the key guidelines. And if you're currently inactive, always talk to your doctor before starting any kind of exercise regimen, and start low and go slow, and then gradually increase how often and how long your activities are done. The general recommendation is about adding 5 to 10 minutes of exercise per week. So now that you know how much physical activity is recommended and what the benefits are, let's talk about some ways you can get fit and stay active on a budget. The first tip is to write down your goals and track your progress. It's important to set realistic goals and write them down. Putting goals into words serves both as a reminder and a motivation. And research shows that you're more likely to achieve your health goals when you track your activity. Keeping a log of your workouts or your daily activities can help you stay focused and motivated as you work to achieve your fitness goals. There are many ways to track your goals and your activity, and the key is to find out which method works best for you. One way to track is to keep a journal or a notebook. This is my personal favorite because I love to write and I love just the good old-fashioned pen and paper method. But if you prefer an electronic version, you can use a computer program, maybe like Excel, to keep track. The tracker feature on the member portal is also another way to track your progress, and we'll look at this in more detail in just a second. Lastly, you can connect a device. Step counters are built into most smartphones these days, and if you have an iPhone, for example, the Health app automatically tracks your steps. So it's easy to check them throughout the day to see where you are. And you can also earn dollars by connecting your phone or device to the member portal. In fact, tracking with a connected device is the top way HealthTrust participants earn dollars towards their quarterly incentive reward. And we'll look a little bit more about this in detail in the next few slides. So first is connecting a device. And did you know that the HealthTrust Slice of Life program offers you up to $100 per year towards the purchase of a fitness tracker, a smart scale, or blood pressure monitor? Eligible brands include Fitbit, Garmin, Samsung, Apple Watch, iHealth, and Withings. For more expensive devices, $100 will be deducted from the cost, and you'll need to provide a credit card to pay for the balance. And it's important to note that devices under $100 will be covered in full, but you won't receive that money back if you choose a device that costs less than $100. So you can order your device through the Onlife Health website. And to do that, you just simply log into your secure account at healthtrustnh.org and click on the Onlife Health button. Scroll through the blue journey tiles on the Onlife portal and find the Order a Device. You can see that here. And then click on the orange Shop Now button. And from there, you'll be redirected to an external website where you can shop for and select the item you would like to purchase. And then all you have to do is start redeeming. You can connect your device or app from your secure member account. If you look at the top left screenshot, you can see that you can click on Add or Remove under Connected Devices and Apps, or you can click on Connect on the journey tile that says Connect your device or app. You might have to scroll to the right or use the arrow on the right to find that journey card. If this is your first time connecting, you'll see a video that provides additional details. You can see that here in the top right screenshot. You'll just click Get Started, read the terms and conditions, and click I accept to continue. And then from there, you'll be directed to the Browse and Connect Apps page. All you have to do from there is find your device or app and click Connect, and then follow the prompts to enter your login information, and you'll be able to earn your dollars. To know that if you've successfully connected your device or app, you'll be able to see the little green icon that indicates that it's connected. So that's another way. Moving on to trackers, you can also track on the member portal. From the dashboard, you just click this hamburger menu over here in the top left corner. You can select trackers and then select which one you'd like to use. You can see here that I've put the screenshot of the physical activity tracker. So you can put how many minutes of cardio exercise you got, how many minutes of strength training you did or stretching, and then click track, and it will log your activity. So moving on to tip number 2, go for a walk. I saw that several of you indicated that you do this regularly. You know, nature's gym is free. Walking is one of the easiest and least expensive forms of exercise. Stepping outside for some fresh air is not only free, but there's also no special skills or equipment required. And for most people, walking is safe, and it provides many benefits like strengthening your heart, bones, and muscles. It improves the blood circulation and increases your lungs' ability to take in oxygen. It can aid in weight loss and weight maintenance, and also help lower blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar levels. And walking can boost your mood and energy levels and reduce stress. And in fact, research shows that spending just 20 minutes outside reduces your stress. And finally, walking gives you a great workout that you can tailor to your own fitness level. There are many ways you can incorporate walking into your daily routine. You can walk around your neighborhood or the track at your local school. You can walk around inside the mall, especially if it's too cold or too hot outside. If possible, you can walk to work if it's convenient for you, or if you take the bus or subway, you can take it halfway and walk the rest of the way, or get off a little bit early and walk part of the way. At lunch or during your work breaks, you can take a walk. Whenever possible, take the stairs instead of the elevator. And then parking farther away, like in the back of the parking lot when you're at the office or at the store. Walking with others is a good option if you prefer company. So whether it's your dog, your kids, your family, friends, coworkers, it's helpful to have someone to hold you accountable. Also, if you don't have a dog, but you love animals, you can check out your local animal shelter. They're always looking for dog walkers. I've never done this, but I have a coworker who does, and she loves it. If you prefer groups, consider joining a local walking or hiking group. I saw someone said they hike. You can find them on social media platforms like Facebook, Nextdoor, and Meetup. Does anyone take part in any of those? I know someone said they like hiking, but is anyone part of a group? Okay, if it's a nice day out, you can go to the zoo and walk around. You can also walk around at your kids' sports practice. I know my husband and I did this during my son's flag football practice. It was at like 7 o'clock at night, and so it was after dinner, and it was a little cooler. So we would just walk around the track while they were practicing. So it was a nice time for us to catch up, but also we were able to get in some extra steps as well. Kathleen said she's online run walk the year 2022. I've never heard of that. This is great. Okay. So one tip that I would like to share is I keep, it's helpful to keep a pair of shoes in your car. I know I do that. So that way, if I'm ever anywhere where I have even just a few minutes, I can slip them on and take a quick walk. You never know when you can, might have a chance to get some steps in. Another thing I do is my neighbor across the street, she's also working from home. So we'll text each other several times throughout the day and be like, hey, I have 10 minutes before my next call, or, I'm on my lunch break. Do you want to take a couple laps around the block? So I might be at less than 2,000 steps, for the day, but by the time we get back, I might be at 5,000. So it just keeps me motivated to move more. And not get so down on myself since I've been sitting all morning or whatnot. So those are just some things that I do that I've found that are helpful. So it's important to think about safety as you plan when and where to walk. You want to try to walk with others if possible. It can not only keep you accountable, but it can also help keep you safe. But if you can't walk with a group or someone else, that's okay. You might want to just tell someone where you're planning to walk and when you should return, and carry your phone in case of an emergency. Always be aware of your surroundings and walk in a well-lit area. And if it's dark outside, wear a reflective vest or brightly colored clothing. And finally, pay attention to your walking surfaces. Use sidewalks and paths if they're available. Be careful, like if it's slippery outside, if it's been raining or been cold. The third tip is to buy equipment with multiple uses. So we'll go over just a few suggestions here. You might have seen those popular infomercials about some fancy exercise gadget like an ab or thigh machine. And while they may seem enticing, they only work one part of the body, and they can be quite expensive. So there are plenty of alternatives that allow you to do a variety of activities while saving you time and money. The first one is an exercise or stability ball. This is a versatile piece of equipment that can be used for a variety of exercises. For example, you can use it as a weight bench when you're doing strength training exercises. It can also add difficulty to ab exercises like crunches or twists by engaging more muscles. Stability balls are also great for flexibility exercises, and you can even use them as a chair while you sit at your desk or even while watching TV. Most of them are relatively inexpensive. They can range anywhere from $15 to $50, although some of them may be less or more depending on your preference. But you can typically purchase them almost anywhere, a sporting goods store, Walmart, Target, Amazon. And the good thing about them is that you can easily fit them under a table or desk, so they're pretty much readily available when you need them. This resource I put here is the Exercise Database and Library. It's by ACE. This is a great website because you can use the drop-down arrows here, and you can search for body part like arms or core. You can choose your experience level like beginner, intermediate, advanced, and also equipment type. So if you don't have any equipment, that's okay. For this example, I chose to use the stability ball. And so you can see here, it gives you all kinds of exercises to do with that specific piece of equipment. Has anyone ever used this before? I haven't, but this is a good resource to have, especially since a lot of us are home now. Some gyms have opened back up or are back into full swing, but some people may prefer to stay home. So this is a great resource to use. The fourth tip is to exercise at home. So although a gym may offer more machines and classes, if you're trying to save money, you can get fit at home without breaking the bank. So take advantage of what you already have on hand and use everyday, I just sounded really Southern there, everyday items to spice up your at-home workout. So someone on earlier said they use soup cans. So yes, you can use soup cans, plastic jugs like gallon milk jugs or laundry detergent bottles. And also water bottles can be used when you want a smaller weight for exercises such as bicep curls. If you want something with a little more bulk, you can fill a backpack with canned goods for added weight. Of course, you want to be careful and choose bottles or jugs that have easy to hold handles and never use anything that's breakable. You can also use a couch, a chair, or a stool as an elevated platform. These objects can also be used as props to hold on to while performing some exercises. For example, tricep dips or leg lifts. You can also use a chair to do squats. Make sure that you're always on a stable surface and never use a chair with wheels. You can use paper plates as gliders to perform exercises like lateral lunges, and towels can be used to perform exercises such as an overhead shoulder press or bent over row. So the harder that you pull the towel, the harder the exercise will be. And at the end of the presentation, there's a slide with resource links, and I've included a great website that has examples of different exercises you can do with these everyday items. Moving on, embracing the outdoors. Don't forget the beauty of nature. There are several exercises you can do outside without any equipment, and walking or running are always great options. From yoga to step aerobics to strength training, there are hundreds of exercise videos available for all fitness levels. You can visit your local library or even ask your neighbor if they have any for you to borrow. I actually did this with a different neighbor across the street. We would exchange exercise DVDs, or we would go to each other's house and try them out. There's also tons of free online workouts available, including fitnessblender.com, which offers a wide range of free fitness videos. There's also one from the American Heart Association called Move More Together at Home. It has over 50 exercise videos. So you can try different videos to see what works best for you based on your current lifestyle, your workout preferences, and fitness level. And again, I've also included these links at the end of the presentation. Finally, there are workout apps available like the 7-Minute Workout, which is free and recommended by the ACSM or the American College of Sports Medicine. So no matter which option you choose, make sure you're on a stable surface again, and not one that could cause you to slide. You should also leave plenty of space around you so that you don't bump into anything. Tip number 5, look for free or low-cost resources. So exercise doesn't have to cost anything if you know where to look. You can get free information, free workouts, and videos, as we said. Libraries have a great deal of information about exercise and fitness, including books and videos. For example, you can purchase like Leslie Sansone's walking DVDs on Amazon for a pretty low price, but you can also get them for free at the library. Free exercise information and workouts can also be found on the internet. Take advantage of free online videos from websites such as YouTube or Fitness Blender. You can typically find information about fitness classes or equipment for sale in local newspapers, bulletin board postings, and community websites. And most high schools and community colleges offer public access to their tracks and bleachers. Again, you can join a local walking or running club. And while many are free, some do require an annual fee, but even if you have to pay, you can often save money by taking advantage of discounts at sporting goods stores. And plus, you often receive freebies like training programs and a support group to help keep you motivated. And if you're looking for a trail, you can visit www.traillink.com to find a local one near you. You can ask your neighbors or friends for bicycles, exercise videos, or other equipment you might be interested in. For example, if you don't have a bike and you're interested in riding, ask a neighbor who owns one if you can borrow it. That way you can see if it's going to be right for you. Next is gyms. A lot of gyms offer free trials. I go to Burn Boot Camp. I'm not sure if anyone's familiar with that, but they do offer one free week. So if you think about it, you could work out for weeks for free just by trying out all the gyms in your local area. And check out your local community center. Some offer free or discounted programs. And you can also join a recreational sports league such as basketball, soccer, or softball. If your apartment or office building has a fitness center, you can often use that for free. And if you live in a building with multiple levels, take advantage of the stairs. And don't forget about the stairs in your own home. Moving on to tip number 6, choosing inexpensive equipment. So you don't need fancy equipment to get an excellent workout. Resistant bands are inexpensive. They're easy to pack and store, and they can be used to exercise any part of the body. I've posted 2 links right here that are great resources for resistance band exercises. Exercises you can try include the 2-hand pull down, which works your back and shoulders, and also the biceps curl. And you can find detailed instructions on how to do each of these exercises by visiting these links. Dumbbells are also relatively inexpensive, and they can be used to perform multiple exercises that work various body parts. They range in weight, so you can choose what's right for you. You can find affordable brands at Walmart, Amazon, Target, or any sporting goods store. Tip number 7, get creative without equipment. So if you're on a budget, you're in luck. You can still get a good workout in without any equipment. There are several exercises, no matter if you're indoors or outside, that require nothing more than your body. For example, strengthening exercises include lunges, squats, push-ups, crunches, leg or arm raises, and wall sits. And cardio examples include jumping jacks, jogging in place, jumping rope, high knees, and stairs. And if you want to get creative, you can build your own circuit by choosing 3 or 4 exercises from each category. You can alternate between the strength and cardio exercises, do each of them for about 30 seconds, and then repeat the circuit 2 to 3 times. So to ensure you're doing the exercise correctly, you can go to the exercise database and library that I shared with you earlier. And I apologize, I missed a slide on the inexpensive equipment. And I wanted to go back and touch on these because I think they're important. Another inexpensive piece of equipment is a jump rope. Burning calories with this old school toy is quick and easy. In fact, you can burn approximately 100 calories in just 10 minutes. Jump ropes offer a cheap cardio workout. They're portable like resistance bands. They can range from $2 to $20, again, depending on your preference. But you want to be sure to choose a jump rope that's appropriate for your height. You can find free jump rope workouts on YouTube, ranging from beginner to advanced. And staying with the old school theme is the hula hoop. They're also portable and cheap. They can make exercise fun. And there are countless YouTube videos with various hula hoop how-to tips and techniques. You can even include the family on this one, especially if you have kids or grandchildren. You can start with a plain hula hoop or go for a more expensive weighted one. It's all about what you're comfortable with. And finally, you can opt for secondhand equipment. You can search local garage sales, secondhand stores such as Play It Again Sports or Craigslist for deals on used exercise equipment. All right, so now that we've talked about tips for exercising on a budget, let's quickly touch on fitness clothing and gear. So first, you should always use the safety gear recommended for your chosen activity. For example, a helmet for biking. This can help ensure your safety and prevent injury. But like I said earlier, you don't need expensive equipment to work out, and you don't need expensive clothes to work out. However, the type of clothing you wear can make a difference in how you feel during your exercise. For example, some fabrics are designed to pull sweat away from your skin during an exercise and others absorb it. So you want to make sure that you're wearing clothing that's breathable. This allows the air to circulate and moisture to evaporate. Another tip is to choose clothes that work with your activity. For example, you might wear loose shorts to play basketball, but probably not when you're doing yoga. And it's important to choose shoes that are right for your activity. For example, shoes designed for running, walking, or hiking have features that will keep your feet comfortable and well supported for that activity. So you want to make sure that the shoes fit well and provide proper support for your feet. You want to check them regularly and replace them when they're worn out. If the tread is worn out or your feet feel tired after activity, or if you start feeling pain in your shins, knees, or hips, it might be time to get a new pair. And finally, if you're planning to be outdoors, especially, don't forget the sunscreen. Wearing a hat, sunglasses, and clothing treated for sun protection are also good suggestions. So here are some ideas to help you stay active even when it's cold outside. And I know I mentioned some of these early in the presentation, but just to reiterate, going for walks at the mall, checking the local schools and churches. They might have indoor gyms where you can walk. You can get the hand weights or resistance bands to use at home and get creative and use some of those items that we talked about earlier. Using an online exercise video, walking up and down the stairs in your house, staying active and keeping your house looking good. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Engaging in active housework like sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, or doing laundry, that all counts as moderate activity. And then getting involved in sports leagues in your community. Many cities offer indoor sports like basketball, indoor soccer, swimming, that kind of thing. Dressing appropriately for cold weather is important. So if you plan to be active outdoors during the cold weather, it's very important that you wear the appropriate clothing. For example, wearing clothes that fit well and keep you warm and dry. For the best protection, it's best to wear a warm hat, scarf, earmuffs, or other face covering, and wearing layers. Did you know that each layer serves a purpose? For example, the layer closest to your skin should wick moisture away from your body. Another layer should provide warmth and support to keep your body moving as comfortable as possible. And then the outermost layer should protect you from wind and rain. I've actually never thought about it that way. Checking the fabric, again, clothing made of wool or polypropylene will keep you from losing body heat, even if the fabric gets wet. Wearing wool socks and waterproof shoes, and then opting for mittens rather than gloves. Because if you think about it, this allows you to roll your fingers, put your fingers together and roll them up into a fist to help you stay warm. And then for safety purposes, try to do your activities when it's light out and be careful not to slip on wet or icy ground. And finally, staying active in hot weather. You can go for early morning or evening walks or bike rides. You can go swimming. And if you don't have a pool, check out your local community center. You can do light yard work or gardening. You'll burn those calories while keeping your yard looking good. And then another option is to hand wash your car. Again, you'll burn calories, and then you also have easy access to give yourself a splash to help you stay cool. When exercising outdoors, it's important to always take precautions in the heat. Again, avoid exercising during the hottest times of the day. Try to go those early morning or later in the afternoon. And find shaded areas like parks with big trees. Again, wear your sunscreen. It's important to stay hydrated and drink plenty of fluids. And then taking rest breaks. Wear your light colored breathable clothing, and then watch for signs of heat exhaustion, such as nausea, dizziness, cramps, and headache. And so if you notice any of these signs, you want to stop your activity right away, cool off, drink some fluids. And one important thing to keep in mind is that higher humidity levels can make it feel hotter. And since your body cannot cool off as well by sweating, this puts you at greater risk for illness. And older adults and children are at higher risk for these heat-related illnesses and should be extra cautious. So if you are going to be outside, you might want to talk to your doctor if you take certain medications that could be exacerbated by the heat. Always talk to your doctor first. So that wraps up before I move on to the additional resources. Does anyone have any questions? Let's see. Oh, Elizabeth says, I pick up my resistance bands at my local physical therapy office. They cut to size and it cost me $5. That's amazing. They do weaken over time and need to be replaced. Each color represents a certain strength. Yes, I stick with red. I believe green is stronger, more challenging. That's great. Yes, they have resistance bands at the gym where I belong. And I think there's blue and yellow and gray. Gray is the hardest with the least resistance. Yeah, the more challenging one. So I provided these additional resources here, but you can also log into your secure account on HealthTrust Secure Enrollee Portal and click the Onlife Health button. And then there you can find resources related to today's topic, as well as those that were specifically mentioned during the presentation. So in summary, I hope you found some creative ways that you can build more activity into your life and stay active without blowing your budget. But I want to know now is, what is one takeaway that you learned from today's presentation? You can type your answers in the chat box. Give just a minute. Dressing in layers. Yes, I didn't know that either. And we don't get a lot of like frigid temperature, like ice, although we've gotten more snow this year, but I'm not prepared for winter weather, like to go outside and play in the snow or even walk outside. You're welcome, Maureen. The database will be helpful. Yes. Great. All right. Well, it looks like our time is just about over. So I'd like to thank HealthTrust for giving me the opportunity to share this information with you today. Stay tuned for more details to come about our next webinar in May, which will be on wearable devices in your health, I believe. So more to come on that. I really appreciate you all taking time out of your day to be a part of this. I hope you all have a great rest of the week.